You don't need a lot of information. You need the information that works or the right amount of information. We saw an insurgence of guys who came into the market and everyone is selling signals, mentorships and stuff like that. And the experience in the market was 2 months, 3 months, 1 month, 2 weeks.
Yeah, true.
Makes one flip and is a mentor the next day.
And actually people are resorting to drugs.
People are depressed. People
Traders, people are very depressed in the trading space. Forex Giant here with you guys alongside Emma Trades, who shall be taking you through the biggest trading show in Uganda and the first of its kind. Just keep locked into the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Emma Trades.
Straight out.
How is life? How is Forex trading? It has been a while, my brother.
Oh man, we've come from far. Now it goes, man.
Yeah.
But trading is amazing.
True.
It's not bad. Of course, could be warm. But at the end of the day, it's about growth, which they get.
Literally.
Yeah, so other than that, man, it's going good.
Okay. What is really still hindering you in the trading space? Because I also have my hindrances as a person. It may be psychology stuff, it may be anything. What is on your side, my brother? So
I personally, I think at the moment, as far as the markets are concerned, I don't have any hindrances. It's more of the personal life. Okay. You get my point?
Yeah.
The challenge is living post expectations.
Yeah.
So for the most of the time, personally, I think I'm trying to set my own expectations around myself. Right. Try to remove a public narrative, because people profile you a certain way that they expect every trader should be. You get my point?
Absolutely.
And sometimes I don't fancy that.
And actually, I think most of the viewers out there, you have to change that narrative, because each of us has his or her own personality.
Exactly.
You get, yeah?
And
like everyone has some way he behaves. You get, yeah?
Yeah, true. So personally, the things that I've achieved so far are things I don't think I would have achieved if I was still if I had gone my path of software engineering. You're
a software engineer, Emma?
I'm a certified software engineer straight out.
My G, you're the deal. You're the deal.
My guy. Yeah. Anyway, so basically that's it. If you remember, I think I took 6 months off media.
Yeah, true.
6 months straight up. It was just me focusing on myself. Wake up, take my trades, focus on my own aspects of life.
Emma, how is life without media? Because I think I can't live without social media, I personally. Because even when I was still in my struggling stages, my brother, I couldn't live a day without opening TikTok and the other social media platforms.
Yeah, true. It's a bit harsh, but from a self-development point of view, sometimes you have to take hard decisions. You get my point? The challenge is that when you leave social media, what do you focus on?
Yeah.
So it's not like you leave social media entirely, because I would come back on like WhatsApp once a month and just check out, is there any business that I feel like I need to be engaged in? Okay. And if there wasn't any, I'll just let it go. I don't reply that text or whatsoever. You get it? But then the idea that it's hard, but I just did progressively. My target was 6 months. Yeah, I first did the first 30 days. It was very harsh. Really, it was harsh, but then at the end of the day, I was focusing more on going back, refining my strategy, refining my personal goals. You get my point? And to take
finding your edge.
The edge had come already at that moment, because I have my own style of trading, and
true.
I was very good at it. But what I didn't want was external pressure on me, because in Uganda, unfortunately, we have this ideology of whereby the people watching want you to be a certain kind of way because you're a trader.
Yeah.
And our industry hasn't reached that point yet. It hasn't reached that point.
Actually, I think it is a very wrong narrative, because these people are trying to set an industry, because like in a way that even someone out there would fear to start, because they are expecting people are going to set the bar high for you, like you can't achieve this, and
they're like industry standards that people at the top have set that are making it hard for very many traders.
And actually, some of them are faking them.
Actually, that's the problem. Many of them.
That is the problem, because
many of them are faking it. So basically, I think that's where I am myself. And those are just the issues I've been trying to figure out. Other than that, it has been personal. As far as the markets, once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's a narrative. You get my point. When you get your edge, you're getting your edge.
Absolutely.
The other thing is to try and control your life. Try and avoid the downfall. We have seen downfalls in this industry. Big downfalls.
Big downfalls.
You get my point. So it's not something I want to be into. So I had to play it safe on my side in terms of that. So basically, that's it at the end of the day.
Okay. The Forex industry in Uganda is growing at a very, very, very high rate, but could I say it is gradual? Like it is growing, but gradually and slowly. Though we are getting new entrants and stuff. People are coming into the Forex space, and most of the people are coming in with some narrative that this is a overnight get rich scheme. And I think which is wrong. What is your view on that?
So personally, of course, our industry is growing, but still a very, very small industry. Like if you compare Uganda to probably like Kenya and Tanzania, we're actually very, very far behind. Though we make a lot of noise out here on ground, and ground and to Uganda.
Yeah.
But the reality is that when you look at trading volume that comes out, especially from brokers, Uganda is the least. We don't even make half of what Kenya is making. And then when it comes to Tanzania, we barely make a third of what they do. You get my point? So I think the problem that we are growing, awareness wise, it might grow.
Yeah.
But as far as actually growing in the trading space, it's going to take a long time because there's a lot of wrong things happening in our industry. A lot of bad narratives, just as I've spoken about.
Yeah.
And many people are faking life to influence other people, and they're doing it wrongly.
And Emma, what do you think is still lagging us behind? Because I think we are having the resources, we are having the informed people on the ground, and the brokers are coming in, bringing business. What is still lagging us behind as a country?
So generally, it's just everything is perception. If you get what I mean,
Yeah.
Everything is perception. So now the idea is to influence more people to come and learn things the right way. By the end of the day, if you do not influence them the right way, or when you're influencing them, because everyone will be drawn to the same things: fancy cars, fancier Airbnbs, and all that stuff, fancy trips and shit like that. By the end of the day, if that person comes to you and they don't get what they expected, or you didn't tell them what to expect,
Yeah,
you get my point. Personally, when I was being influenced back then, I was doing my research and I was looking at traders, because I didn't know traders in Uganda when I was starting.
Sure.
I didn't know traders in Uganda.
You
when
knew
I was
Forex without knowing traders in Uganda, Emma?
No, someone just came and told me, you know what? I saw you reading about stocks. That was in 2016.
Yeah.
But I heard there is Forex. You can start with very small capital. At the time, I was working at Sipla Quality Chemicals.
Yeah.
And then, as soon as he told me that, I just began the whole of that week. I was just trying to read the Candlestick Bible, and I was watching the YouTube channel Trade Society.
2016, where was I? 2016, senior two.
Sure,
But you were
senior
not
two.
of my age.
I wasn't of your age, yeah, true. But I was also in high school. I was in O level. But then what happened is that as soon as he told me, I took time and I was just watching YouTube.
Okay.
I was watching YouTube and Instagram. So, and then of course the books I read are Riff Wayne's book, of course, and Trading Psychology, Mark Douglas.
Meaning,
so basically that was it.
The fact is that these people have to know that this doesn't come just overnight.
No, it doesn't come overnight. So it's perception at the end of the day. If someone shows you that I had a short journey, and then I'm buying this, I have ABCD, I can live this kind of lifestyle. Regardless, whoever watches them and listens to that is going to come with the same mindset. I mean, you took it 1 year, right? Yeah. The challenge with human beings, we all think we are special.
Emma, do you think trading is related to luck?
So here's the thing.
Is there any way trading is related to luck? Like, I may come, trade for 4, 5, 6 months, and I make a breakthrough. Do you think that trading is related to luck, or it is entirely knowing what to do?
So people need to understand that we call it luck, but luck is a formula.
Okay.
Luck is a formula, and it's basically preparedness plus opportunity.
Yeah.
You get my point?
That is luck, preparedness plus opportunity.
That is luck.
Okay.
Opportunities come all the time, but because you're never prepared for them, you'll never know that an opportunity has come up, it has showcased, because you don't know what to do with it. You get my point? So the thing with trading is the preparedness. What you need to do is what's doing right. The moment you do one thing wrong, when I was at Dollar Bill, you would find guys who have come with a crazy years of experience in the market, some guys are in their 50s, 40s.
Yeah.
And things are not working out.
Yeah, true. Actually, for me, I've also been teaching students, having 4 years experience, 5 years experience. Let even I've just made 2 years experience.
Yeah, and you realize that when you interact, there is one thing they have been doing wrong for 5 years. Or you get my point? There is just, maybe even be psychological. Yep. The mindset is just wrong. You get my point? So it's just, everything needs to be done the right way. And of course, the sample will defy the odds, do it in a shorter period of time. I think we're an example in most of the times. You get my point? But the thing is that when someone comes and sees you doing something and they feel like they're better than you, they want to do it better than you or faster than you, which is not the case with trading. All
right, Emma, you took 6 months off the media, right? What could be your advice on a newbie starting up trading? Because I literally know media exposure can literally damage anyone's psychology, because people out there showcasing demo accounts, and these people, newbies, are really thinking that these are real accounts, meaning that media exposure is damaging them in one way or the other, and they are literally pushing them to the wall to do something they wouldn't have done in that particular time. You get it? And these people are not taking their time to either learn or grasp what they have to, or like find a plan, find a strategy. Like, these people are not following that because they see someone is flipping, and you don't know, like, someone maybe could be flipping them account, could be flipping a real account, whatever, because if he or she makes that money, that is their money. It's never your money. You get it?
Of course.
What could be your advice to a newbie, like, who is so much onto media? He's in every WhatsApp group, like, he's following every trader. What could be the advice? Could you advise them to also take 6 months off the media, or they could continue with the media? It couldn't harm them in any way.
Ideally, I would advise anyone to do that for as long as it takes. You get my point? But depends on your goals and how you move your life.
Yeah.
Me, I could afford to be 6 months off the media, put food on my table and pay my bills, and I won't need anybody for anything. For those 6 months, I could afford to do that. You get my point?
Yeah.
I didn't need to do business with anybody. You get my point? So whoever needed to get to me, within that period of time, they were able to get to me.
Yeah, true.
If they needed to.
Literally everything was moving, like was running smoothly without anyone's help. Like everything was running okay.
100%.
Yeah, true.
But not everyone works that same way. You get my point? But the idea is this. Usually, we have to change the way we consume content. You get my point? If you've seen my social medias personally, I have a specific way that I tend to do my kind of like influencing.
Yeah.
I never post blue screens.
Okay.
It's always the entries. And the psychology behind this is one.
Yeah.
If someone notices 100 videos of mine and the emphasis is the entries, and they go to find out how comes it gets the same kind of entries time and again.
Okay.
Because me, I can own it. The way I enter the market is different. It's very unique.
True.
You get my point?
Yeah.
So someone will have, maybe they will think about it and be like, okay, let me try to backtest this guy's entries. Because you're seeing a price point, you're seeing the time frame, and you'll always notice a similarity.
A minute.
Yeah.
What strategy are you using?
It's called logical. Okay, ideally it's called logical trading. It's not the ideal name for it. I don't think there's an ideal name for it.
Like, are you combining many confluences, many strategies, or
so what we do is basically focus on market structure with time frame coordination. Then we have particular types of structures we look for our entries. We attribute that to our liquidity engineering, or how liquidity is engineered in the market. So it's a bit deep because you have to understand how brokers work, how liquidity is actually engineered in the market.
Literally, you went deep down and dug how brokers are operating, like how everything is operating, the macroeconomics behind everything.
To some extent, yeah. With us, we do that. We got that liberty because sometimes we understand how efficient all kinds of entries are. So it's deeper than what people look at, see at the end of the day. But the beauty of it is that sometimes you actually don't need to do all that.
Okay.
You don't need to learn all that stuff there.
On that particular point, Emma, of the growth of the industry and everything is running berserk at this particular moment because scamming is very much in the industry. Like everything is like go ba. You get in the industry of Uganda. Because out there people are leaving their jobs to come in for trading when they are literally not ready. Because I've seen this with my students personally. You get, yeah? What could be the advice, the ideal advice you could give to anyone coming into trading?
So ideally the thing is one, don't believe everything you see on the internet.
Yeah, true.
First and foremost. Then when someone comes into it, the first thing you need to understand is that it's a business. It's a business that requires a certain skill set. And every skill takes time to build. Yeah. Takes a lot of research. When there is an industry, let's say you want to enter into coffee, you're going to do market research. Yeah, true. You find out, where will I get an edge in marketing? Where will I get an edge in sales? What do I have to do to be able to beat the competitors? Yeah, true. In simple terms, now here your competitor is yourself and the market. Absolutely. Now you have to know that's going to take you time. Ideally, it will take you time. Yeah. If you do the things the right way, you may see it sooner than others. That's the reality. But don't put a time limit to it. If it means learning for 5 years, it's okay. Okay. You need to be okay. Emma, you have mentioned doing things the right way. How could someone do things the right way? Because most of us could think that going and paying Emma Trades, paying Giant for mentorship, that could be the right path for me, making research and stuff. And some people have done it and now they are not yet there. But here is the thing. We have stages in trading. Yeah. There are 3 technical stages. There's the beginner stage, the intermediate, and of course the pro level or advanced, where you're good at your craft. You have your edge. So here's the thing: when people get from the beginner, because here now when you advance from the beginner to the intermediate, you've killed the mindset of a get rich quick scheme. You're comfortable with taking risks. Yes. You may not have defined risks, but you're comfortable with taking the risks. Then you come to intermediate. The challenge we find here is actually the biggest risk is not taking a risk. Exactly. Yeah. Now the challenge with intermediate traders, or the majority of traders, because many of them are intermediate. So what happens here is that you're trying to look for consistency. You're trying to look for an edge. So every time you try out something and it doesn't work out for a period of time, you switch. Yeah. You're looking for more information on more information. You don't need a lot of information. You need the information that works or the right amount of information. Okay. You get my point? And you give it time. You give it time because when you're looking at backtesting, and I personally, when I'm backtesting, I did quarterly. And pairs like gold, I've backtested for like, I think from 1999. On Forex, you have that data from 1989 actually. Yes. On Forex, the platform. So I've backtested from 1999 and I do it quarterly. If it's January to March, I'll do it for 3 years, do the next 3 years, and I'll keep going back to backtest. But I'm backtesting the same thing that I trade every single day. Like going back to prove, was this thing working in 1998? Exactly. Has it been working in 2000? What conditions were there? Okay. You get my point?
Because literally the market is fractal. I believe that the market is fractal.
Always fractal.
What it does today, it will repeat it over and over time.
Exactly. These are just same patterns. The patterns on supply and demand over any commodity.
Yeah.
If it's a currency or a commodity, just navigating the same, how do we call it? The same aspects and narratives that anybody in the market writing down their sales would see, the patterns they would see, are the same patterns that this market or these charts will keep on attributing. It's how it's designed to work out. You get?
Yeah.
So ideally, the problem is not information. The problem is getting the right amount of information and sticking to it over time. That's the challenge.
Meaning, Emma, you are now dissing this stuff that this strategy is better than this one, right?
Now, let's first reduce these two things here, right?
Okay.
Everything typically works at some extent. Different win rates and different capabilities of every strategy. But the thing is not strategy, it's concepts. It's concepts. You get my point? So the problem is that we have drifted so much to strategies that I forget that there is a bigger concept behind this strategy. You get my point? Then there's a misconception.
And actually, most of us don't take that initiative to know that behind this strategy there is a bigger concept.
There's a bigger concept behind it. When someone is doing ICT, typically there are 6 modules.
Okay.
Those are 6 strategies using the ICT concepts.
Yes.
ICT is a variety of concepts. If there is smart money, they have concepts they focus on. It could be the fair value gap or the imbalance, could be the order blocks, could be supply and demand levels, but then they have strategies on how you can trade them.
Yeah.
And these are things you can devise yourself from backtesting. You notice certain things, and then you keep on retesting them to see, okay, I saw this happening last time. Okay, let me see how many times it works out. Okay, what conditions help it work out?
Okay.
You get the point. So strategy is personal based. Now, when you get an edge, it's just you knowing what you've learned. When does it work best? How best can I capitalize on it? So people should not focus on strategies, focus on the bigger picture. All you need is a concept. Strategies can be built.
Or anyone can build his or her own
Exactly,
strategy,
but it has to be based on a concept that you understand. Basically, that's my ideology on that.
All right. Emma, now we are back now to mentors. Like these people who have literally made it through the market.
But before you get to that,
yeah.
Chimanyi tutuse wano nga tunaba kwennyonnyola ko nga Forex giant Uganda.
Okay. People out there are seeing us. I am Forex giant Uganda, an ICT trader, a certified scalper, entrepreneur, and a chartered market technician.
That title ina nyingi.
EA, my friend. I'm not an everyday person.
Wewe bazigabira.
I'm the only chartered market technician who never went to school. Like I woke up out of the blue, I named myself chartered market technician.
Self-made.
Thank you, and I'm one.
Masavu.
Argue with your keyboard. All right, that was a by the way. Emma, we have seen a couple of mentors who have been inspiring people, and I personally was inspired by some 2 men coming into the industry. And I will take this opportunity to salute them. Salute Patrick, salute V Dollar. Raj up on yourself, brothers. I was inspired by those 2 men because I saw them doing their thing and I was inspired. Then I joined the industry. I tried to research about it. I was scammed at some point, but that is crap. You get it? Up to when I made it to here. But I think, okay, I would first ask this. Do you think the mentors are doing this thing right? Are they doing it in a right way? Like the way they are influencing or the way they are pulling out the crowds or the way they are pulling up numbers to join the Forex? Are they doing it in a right way? Because in Uganda, there are alarming cases of scamming and
100%.
You get it? And these cases are coming in from the students to the mentors. Like this mentor took my money, this mentor did that, this man told us to collect money and stuff. And those cases are alarming. Like there are very many and they are raising each and every day. You can find a mentor having 20 cases on one police station. You get Do you think these people are doing it right? Like are they doing it in a right way? Because this is a very young industry where I think nobody could be scammed. Like I don't think you could scam because we are all going and on area no area Uganda.
I believe that if at all there are cases to the police stations, that means there's something being done wrong. That means you're not doing it right.
Yeah, true.
If there are those many cases, then there is a gap somewhere that needs to be filled up.
Okay.
Now there are 2 ways the gap can be in, right? So marketing is very broad, very diverse, and can be very ugly at the same time.
Yeah.
There's toxic marketing or unhealthy marketing. Then there is the idea of there's no bad publicity. So personally, I think many mentors actually doing it badly. Basically, because many of them are not ready to be mentors.
Meaning people are just waking up and mentors.
I mean, we saw
and
this
actually, there is this thing you guys should stop. Everyone who makes $50, Giant FX, Emma FX, you guys should stop.
That is the issue. We saw an insurgence of guys who came into the market, and everyone is selling signals. Everyone is selling mentorships and stuff like that. And these people, even if it was backtesting, I don't think they have backtested more than a year and the experience in the market was 2 months, 3 months, 1 month, 2 weeks.
Yeah, true. As long as someone makes $50,
he makes one flip and is a mentor the next day.
Yeah, true.
So I think that's where the problem comes in. You get my point? Because you have no idea what exactly you're supposed to give to your clients. You don't know how to package them and tell them that this is what you're going to expect. It will take you A, B, C, D to get to point Z. You get my point?
Right.
So that's one of the ways. Now, because they don't have that kind of capability, you're going to find them doing this thing. So there's a time where we go to, and you be on your WhatsApp. Every day you add it to a new group because there's a new mentor every morning.
Bro.
Every 3 a.m. there's a new mentor.
There's a new mentor.
They add in a WhatsApp group. Then the funny thing is that throughout the day, there are about 700 people in the group. There are about 300 mentors in the whole group. Everyone has their own WhatsApp group.
And everyone is throwing tantrums to everyone. Like
now, even before you get to that, the marketing was very funny. It was very ugly in my side. Here's the thing. You wake up at 7 a.m. Someone tells you, join my VIP. 100% win rate. If you don't join it, you're missing out. The other one tells you, the other one sends a notification. In all the groups, whether 300, everyone is sending to every group. Every 10 minutes. You have this, they are fighting to influence the same people to sell the same product to the same people.
like they're literally fighting for the same space.
The same space.
Yeah.
Then you ask yourself, the group you're in, you had a mentor who put you in his group.
Okay.
But you also want to mentor your mentor, or you want to give him signals. Because you're sending the same notifications in your mentor's group. Not only that, someone does it 5 times a day. And I'm like, you guys, you already told people that if they're not in your mentorship or your signal group, they want to make money. They have seen it.
Let them miss. You make your money.
That shows you how desperate these kids are.
Okay.
And shows that they're not actually making money. Because when you're that desperate, it means you need to make sales to put food on the table. Okay. And it was very, very ugly. So now that ideology pushes them to do that aggressive marketing, that toxic marketing. And already they have no idea what they are doing. So when a client comes to them, they will tell them, I'm going to make you profitable in a month. I'll make you rich in a month. The guys do
like when you finish my course, everything is done. Everything is covered.
Now this person will come, invest their money, they get their 300, 200, whatever dollars, they give them to you. Very, very well. After a month, 2 months, they're not seeing results. They find an account, keep blowing. Another one, they are down. And now they come to you. Then most mentors will show them attitude. That's what others, this when they now tell them that, it takes time.
Okay, then. Now that is one thing you mentors are doing wrong. Like that is what I want to emphasize today. Like if anything goes wrong on anyone's account or in anything, like you guys, how you respond to these clients is the one that makes them hate Forex trading. Like anyone can understand that the money blew, like anyone can understand that you guys made a loss. But after making a loss, you are blocking someone and stuff. Come explain to them. You get it? You can really do better, you guys. You Forex mentors, I'm talking to you guys. You the gurus. You get? You can really do better. You can do better. You can do better. Like I've been receiving some cases. Like after someone blowing my account, he blocked me. But I had no problem on him. He would have explained to me because this people just need the explanation because they literally know the business they are coming into.
True.
Like this is a risky business. You can just tell them this account has blown and this blah blah. Don't block them. Like you guys are literally draining the industry. I think I'm really mugisindika wansi. Kubanga ono webana amu blocking anange ne bam blocking. The growing industry ejja kubeddirira okitegera ate nga the more the industry grows, I think the more the incentives are coming into the country. Like the more goodies, like
forget regulations.
Yeah, true.
Like our industry gets more exposed.
Yeah,
we get I don't know how to say it, but it tends to grow faster. The reason why people like in countries like Kenya actually are developing so fast in terms of trading, because it's been about I think 7 years since they regulated the industry. But the growth they have had, you know, it's not even hard for in the older age group to come to trading because that incentive was there.
Yeah,
you get my point. We have seen an active stock trading market in Kenya and all that stuff there. You get, so people need to just do things right way, and it's always very beneficial if they do this at the beginning of whatever you're going to. If you're going to interact with a client, tell them when they have just come to you.
Yeah.
Don't be desperate for the money they are going to pay you, for the money they are going to give you. First, tell them the right things. Tell them what needs to be said. Tell them you're bringing this money, it may blow. When it blows,
I'm not accountable, or I'm accountable for half.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
true.
make your terms clear.
Yeah.
Like, it's a safe thing. Then the other issue on how these things come about comes from the clients themselves.
Yeah.
When somebody comes and says Giant are flipping $50 to 5,000, they are going to go back, sleep on it, and wake up again. He's going to flip my $50 to $5,000.
Even you clients having problems, you guys. You guys are out there blaming mentors, but even you clients, you people coming into the Forex space, you also having problems. Like, you guys come in and you think that the mentor is God. Like, if I give Jack this account, the account is going to, you get. And at a certain point, see that when the account blows, you start, this guy is a scam and blah blah, which is not right on some people. Like, you guys are out there spoiling some people's reputations just because of some little money, and actually when the account blown, and you also saw that the account blew, you get, but you guys are not getting it because you came to Giant thinking that this is good, he can't blow the account and stuff. My advice to anyone coming into the market on that space of account management, blah blah blah, you guys know risk what you can afford to lose. Know what you want from the market. Like, know that even the mentor is not God. Like, anything can happen to the account. That is the mindset you have to have. Like, anything can happen to the account. The reaction after the mentor blowing account or after making money, that is your business and your mentor. But come into the business knowing that anything can happen to the account.
So I would like to ask you something on that same note.
Yeah, true.
But first and foremost, my perspective on that, I think as much as the client will be wrong, it starts with how the mentors or the gurus do the marketing. Now, I know what is your take on the lifestyle kind of marketing. How do you think it should be done?
All right. I think the lifestyle kind of marketing is not the greatest marketing we would have here. I think we as mentors or as traders, we would put our marketing more into lessons stuff, like showing this for that you can study and make something out of the market. Like, you can study, like, this is the right way you can study, like, this is showcase of your skills. Like, you guys can do YouTube videos and showcase of your skills. Like, those can literally also attract market. But you guys are out there, some mentors are out there renting cars and stuff. They're selling a fake lifestyle to people out there. That is your business. I want to enter that. But you are ending up, how can I term it? Like, this was ending up bringing in these ignorant kids, and these ignorant kids are losing money in the process, and they are hating the industry once and for good. You get, yeah?
So there's something amazing that happened in South Africa last year, right?
Yeah.
So around, I think, November, there was a bunch of young traders. I think they're about 18, 19, 17. Now, you know that South Africa for a long time has been a very toxic space.
Yeah, true.
And of course, if our mentors are doing the wrong things like that, we are going to end up like South Africa in the long run. But here's what these kids did. They began a full margin Olympics last year. Okay. But here is the funny thing. At least what they used to do, they would fund their accounts and try to go full margin. Now, there's a question I want to ask you on that. So what they are doing basically is sharing information on the trade. So I sign up for the Olympics, fund my account, I'm going to be trading. Then I have to review my trades and stuff like that. And people see how I took my trades so they can learn something.
Yeah.
Now that brings me to the next question, right?
Yeah.
The idea of full margin, right? Yes. So personally, when someone just does it for the sake, I call them gamblers. But I very well know that they are professional gamblers, even in trading.
Because literally there are some people who know how to do it right.
Exactly. So as a full margin trader,
yes,
what would you want these people to know if they feel like they want to do full margin or they feel like it's captivating them?
I literally think that full margin, let beginner traders leave it. Like, it literally blow up your mind. Like, it usually tamper with your psychology, because full margin trading is very risky. I personally am a good trader, but at certain points I enter some trades and start shaking. Now, you who is having $200, you have deposited them, you are being demanded rent.
Life savings.
Like, those are life savings. You are bringing them, you are putting lot one on God. You get, those are only 20 pips when you're out, and God takes a whisker. Just
here's what is crazy. There is now a few people out there watching.
Yeah.
But then the people who are inspiring them are telling them a small lot won't change your life. Until we left home to come to trading to change lives.
Actually, I'm actually one of the people advocating for that. Like, small lot size won't change.
It's true. Now, what would that person there do?
All right, Emma. Before increasing your lot size, you have to tick some boxes. That's what I think in my own perspective. Like you have to tick some boxes. Like I'm okay financially, my psychology is okay. You get then you can you get like you're literally having enough money. It could be there's not enough money if I'm to say, but you're literally having some money on you.
Sustain
like even
yourself.
Thank you. Like even if anything happens in that due process, you are not going to go into depression, because we have seen depression is also now.
People are actually depressed in the market.
Yeah, true. And actually, people are resorting to drugs.
People are depressed. People
are resorting to abana banwe enjaga. Traders.
Trading as say.
Abana banwe enjaga. Batabukiddeyo bannaye. Okitegera. People are very depressed in the trading space. And actually, trading, but again, it can bring that depression.
Yeah, true. It can change your life for the better or for the worse.
Yeah, for the better or for the worse. Because this is a game of numbers, and it is any mistake you're making, it is associated with money. Like you're losing money. Any mistake you're making, as long as you're on a real account, any mistake you're making, you're losing money and psychology. You get. And in the end of the day, these people coming in into full margin trading and stuff, they are losing it all. Because coming into full margin trading, when you have changed your point of view, like you are seeing the market in a different perspective.
You've discovered your edge.
Yeah, thank you.
And your consistency.
Yeah.
So now, back to the influencers and the mentors and all that.
Yeah.
Don't you think that this should be a motive they should be pushing? Other than just waking up to post to somebody that, you know what, today I flipped $10 to 1,000, tomorrow I flipped 20 to 2,000, then the next day is putting up a video of small lot size won't change your life, increase your lot size.
I actually think, do you know, Emma, I wanted to start a campaign in this 2025 of the Forex trading awareness, yeah?
Yeah.
But I think we as traders, influencers and mentors, we can do this better. Like we can do it in another way, which is right. Like we can advocate for trading, like people coming to know trading in a very, very great manner.
I think we should put that on the table somewhere and think about it.
All right.
It's a very good idea.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so I think it can help us, right?
Yeah. Because I think most people out there, they are having their myths, and could I say they're ignorant? Sorry to say, but most of the people out there are ignorant. But we are at a pace where most of the people now have come to know about trading. Like Forex trading is into existence.
At least they've heard of it.
Yeah, thank you. At least I've heard of it, because at a certain point I was using a border B, and I found a man, because I was wearing an excellence t-shirt. A man was like, apuka excellence nkaina mu simu yange ebyo bintu bya excellence bikola bitya, like, because sorry to mention a broker, but there are some brokers like who have marketed themselves like aggressive marketing, like to the point that even a border man has the excellence app in there,
and they have no idea what it even does.
Thank you.
Crazy.
But they have been seeing it or making rounds on YouTube, you Google, and they just tap into how can you make money online, because people out there are looking for ways to break the matrix, because people
of course, you know how the ads pop up on YouTube?
Yeah, true, yeah. And someone just goes
tired of losing money.
That's how I landed into expert option.
Oh,
are you tired of losing money? Do you want to make money when you're in your bed? I was like, hey, what is this?
And you know they're the most annoying advertisements at the end of the day. So now to the other question, right?
Yeah.
So over time we have seen this perspective and ideology of our brokers. For some reason our industry feels like the brokers are here to fight them. I actually know that at one point there was a mentor advocating for such ideas.
Yeah.
That there was a broker fighting them. And he has been able to stick for a period of time. And that's not the perspective. What do you think our brokers should do different?
I don't think brokers are here to fight us, because brokers are here literally to bring to us business and for us to give them business. You get.
True.
They can't be in any wrangle with any mentor, because literally a broker is bigger than any mentor you have ever heard of.
True.
You get. A broker is
True.
bigger than any mentor you have ever heard of, because these guys have money and stuff, and they literally know what to do in the markets more than most of the traders in the trading space. You get. Yeah? So I actually think that because most of the brokers are coming into the country, because I think they have discovered that it is a very virgin industry, and they are coming into it to literally get clients and business. You get. I personally, I think brokers out there, they should change something here and there. Brokers start giving out free lessons, because if the trader is making money, you guys are literally making money. Start giving out free lessons, free seminars, free webinars. This can help us to grow as an industry, and you guys grow, you get the money you're looking for, you get the clients you're looking for, in case you advocate, because most of the traders here in Uganda are lacking the knowledge to trade. And some people can raise the capital, $50, $100. Uganda is some average country where some people who are average can raise that money. True. And they can deposit it on your accounts, and you guys and they trade, but they are lacking that knowledge to do it. You get
Yeah.
what I think brokers should change. They should start advocating for that. Make seminars, make financial literacies. You get it? You guys dominate the industry. Like show your presence in the industry.
But I think why that would be hard for many brokers is one, we have different types of brokers because it's a business at the end of the day.
Yeah, true.
It's a business, so they have different modules. You
Marketing
get my point.
modules and working
Exactly, and profit-making modules. So there are brokers who just need to have clients. Then there are brokers who need to have clients who are actually making money.
Okay.
So I think we should focus more on the brokers who need you to make money because they focus on client retention. It shows you how valuable they are.
Yeah, true.
Yes, you may find $10 today, but for him it's calculating. If I can retain a giant for the next 6 years, and he's profitable, that means he'll be trading for 6 years. In 6 years, he won't be in the same place he's in today.
Emma, in a bit of time, could you break down the types of brokers and how they are functioning to make money?
All right. So we have two basic types of brokers, right?
Yeah.
So we have the dealing desk brokers and then the non-dealing desk brokers. So with the dealing desk brokers, your orders are not typically sent to the interbank market.
Okay.
No, they are in-house. And what they do is they do order pairing. So if I have 1 million traders on my platform, and let's say I have 300 people buying, 300 selling, then they are somewhat indecisive. The ones who lose money, I'll get that liquidity and give it to these other people here.
Okay.
Then there'll be a deficit, of course, because they won't all be buying and selling.
Yeah,
Only
true.
50-50, right? Then the ones whereby are the balance, they do what they call hedging.
Okay.
So by hedging, they are protecting their position. It's not trading against you, no. Of course, when someone says hedging, you may think they
trading
are
against you.
Exactly, but they don't work that way. It's like this. These brokers have money. They have access to the interbank market. And they actually have good traders, very good traders. So when they come and they see this deficit of people who they can't order pair, when someone places in a big buy, they'll go in the interbank and press a sell. So that in case this trade loses and they can't pair it, they are going to get the money they have made from hedging and give it to you.
Yeah, true.
So they're protecting themselves. So they do hedging. So that's the dealing desk brokers. And usually with them, they don't really care.
A minute. Do you think, do these brokers have money to move the market? Like they have money to move the market?
So
like they can literally put in orders and the market moves?
Typically, they are brokers
under
who
the
may
market
have the
movers?
capacity, but I don't classify them under that.
Okay.
They're not market movers.
All right.
But they can influence the market. There are times when they can influence the market.
Okay.
I mean, I think in 2023, we had a broker who slipped his clients about...
Uganda.
True, he slipped his clients 70 pips, 700 pips.
700.
There was, I think 700 pips. And what they did, the next day they went and influenced the market. And the next day, all charts had to price in that gap there. All charts, because they just did their thing, because they have the capacity to do some other things. Some brokers, not all of them, there are different capacities. So the thing is this, with dealing desk brokers, what they focus on is having more clients, to have more options of order pairing.
Yeah.
Then the deficit, they will do the whole the hedging. They will hedge your positions in. Then now we have the non-dealing desk brokers.
Yeah.
Or we classify them as ECN.
ECN brokers.
ECN brokers. So with the dealing desk brokers, they focus more on their commissions, and all your orders go to the interbank market directly.
Yeah.
But sometimes what they do is they classify traders. If you're very unprofitable, they'll classify.
Go on.
They classify under what they call A book and B book clients. Now even the dealing desk do this a lot. They classify their clients as A book,
meaning
then B book.
Name Sajja Mamita Abe now is the B book.
Is the B book stop loss alawa nyingi. So that's what they will do, eh? So what they will do with the A book, they will always put your trades in the interbank.
Yeah.
Then the B book, they'll always hedge your positions. And they remain in-house. These are interbank. If you buy, they will look for people who are selling. When you lose, that liquidity will be done. What? Give it to the sellers who made profits.
Yeah.
You get the point. So that's what they do. Now with the non-dealing desk, they're always healthy. Because when they look at you as giant, they don't look at your long-term value. That's why they'll offer you incentives. They'll call you time and again. I know there are brokers here whereby you've never had the account manager call you.
Absolutely.
But they are marketing like crazy.
Yeah, true.
But the account manager will only call you when you've done something. Either you've sent an email because you have a complaint.
Yeah, true.
Or you've made some crazy money or something of that kind.
Yeah.
Or they want you to influence for them.
Yeah.
Now, that's the dealing desk. The non-dealing desk, you open an account, they're going to call you in a short while. Within a week, they're going to call you, find out what should we improve for you, what do you want us to do for you, because they're focusing on client retention. And with a non-dealing desk, usually what they do, they like being on ground. They'll come, organize seminars, they'll give you free trainings, and they'll try to look for the best people to do that for you.
Emma, meaning the likes of the desk dealing brokers do not focus on client retention.
They don't focus on client retention, because what they will do is that they'll make their product in a way that psychologically you keep coming back to it.
You're retained as a client psychologically.
You will feel like you want to come back to them. They'll give you things like unlimited leverage, things like those incentives, very very fast withdrawals, always a paramount thing.
Yeah, true.
Because they know that these are the things that influence us. Things about money are very hard. I may find the best broker.
And actually, for us, we refer to them as the best product.
That's what we refer to them as, but they're not there for you. They don't really care about you. That's the reality of it.
Yeah.
They just want you to be able to fund your account today. If it blows, you fund it tomorrow. So they give you an amount you can fairly do with. And usually, some of them have ECN types or zero spread accounts, but they will never market a zero spread account.
Yeah, true.
They will never market it because the money they make there is less. The commission they get is less. And this is, I think, a challenge that very many beginner traders face.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of zero spread accounts, because that money gets cut automatically, they feel the pain of it.
Psychologically, it is.
Yeah, and basically it's because you're unprofitable. That's why you feel the pain of it. If you're profitable, you always feel it.
Look into the camera and tell
Human me here now. Here is the thing. Yeah. When you go and check your spread on a standard account or a normal account, you're going to find a few points. Let's say when you place your position at 0.01 or the macro lot, you're going to start from, let's say, negative 23 cents or 0.23 US dollars, right?
Yeah, true.
And then when you calculate one lot of that, that's $23. That's the commission the broker makes on you. Now, I want you to imagine you're the broker.
Yeah,
when you go to a zero spread account and they're, let's say, cutting $7, right? That means on one lot, they're cutting $7, right? When you put in one lot. Yeah. But on the standard account,
they're cutting $23.
You get the ideology.
Yeah.
That means you're making more profits.
Meaning these people are taking people's money psychologically, like
psychological warfare.
Yeah.
It's just a business module that they use. And it's because human beings, our patterns around things to do with money are they rarely change.
Yeah, true.
The way we act around money. If I get a broker who's very good and has a 5-star rating, and his withdrawal takes 10 minutes, and I get one who just makes 3-minute withdrawals, even if the conditions are bad, I'll be comfortable with him. Because I want to press withdraw and I see it coming. So he'll have an edge over his other good broker. Because he has 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You get my point? That alone is a very big difference in marketing.
And people will prefer it as a very good product because of that.
Because of that.
Yeah.
Yet they don't know the back door of it. So ideally, that's the idea behind the types of brokers. So just focus on who gives you attention, who you have access to, and who is giving you the signs of he wants you to be profitable for a longer period of time.
All right, Emma, on the same issue of brokers, how do you think someone can know a regulated broker? Because if for most of the mentors are advocating that when you beginning trading, get a regulated broker, make research on a broker. How? Because people out there, like, they literally just hear the word regulations and stuff. They don't know, how can I know that this broker is regulated? How can I know that this broker is in my area of operation? Thank you.
So ideally, what happens that now for Uganda, our CMA doesn't directly regulate forex trading.
Yeah, true.
So you want to focus on our countries that you can easily have access to, or that you believe in their licensing.
Yeah, true.
So we can have Kenya, for example.
Yeah.
You could have South Africa. You could have maybe Egypt. On some brokers, I've seen I think one broker with an Egyptian license in Uganda.
Yeah.
You could look at the UK, the USA,
Seychelles,
and then Dubai.
Yeah.
You could focus on those. Avoid the Caribbean. So you just go to their websites. They're supposed to have the licensings down there. And then you can go to Trustpilot and check other people around the world who are using the products. What do they think of it? Yeah. You get my point. What do they think of the product? Just market research on that, but focus on the licensings that work for you. Tomorrow, if you make $1 million and the office is somewhere in the Cayman Islands, you know, how are you going to get there? Do you know anyone there? Do you even know if it's legitimate there?
Yeah.
But if the broker is, let's say, they have a licensing in Kenya or South Africa, you're going to get a flight. Uganda Airlines going to set the ground.
Yeah, true.
And you can't fail to get connections as a Ugandan there, right?
Yeah.
And you can go and get your money out of it.
On that particular point, talk about the brokers who blacklist countries. Because we have seen this multiple times, and people are out there making money, and the broker cannot pay you because he has the backup. Because your country is blacklisted, but you emphasized and used the broker. So
the idea is this: if your country is blacklisted on any broker site, and they come in your country, avoid them.
Okay.
Avoid them, because tomorrow when they wake up and decide to leave the country with your money, you can't arrest them, because they can actually deny you, because they'll tell you don't offer products in these countries. So that means you got the product illegally. So they can do anything to you. You get my point?
Okay. Yeah. I think you guys out there were satisfied about the brokerage issues. Most of you have been, even most of my students have been asking me, giant, which broker is the best to use, which broker, how can I differentiate a very good broker from another. I think you guys, every question has been answered in that caliber. Emma,
yeah,
as our industry is growing, we are seeing a lot of beefs and biases between traders and mentors. Do you think it is healthy for the industry?
I think it's very toxic. I mentioned earlier
Yeah.
how toxic the South African trading industry was. And actually, for those of you who have followed South Africa, last year we actually lost a trader from such things. He was shot out of his own club. It was called Easy Forex.
Oh.
So, of course, in the long run, it's going to be very bad and it's very toxic, especially for a very virgin industry like Uganda. Like, the industry is so young. Like, there is no reason to us why people should be having ego because they feel they are better than the other or they are doing better than the rest, or you should come to my instead of the other person. It's very, very negative. What they would rather be doing is coming together, organizing, as we spoke about, those kinds of pro events, you know. We are promoting the industry. We want to get the right information out to people, the right narrative, you know, creating awareness. If it means going out to have a road trip
as
together,
traders,
do it. If it means going shut down a club or something as traders, just
do it.
Celebrate. Do it so that people can get
I've
aware
seen it in Kenya
and see
before.
unity.
My brother, when we were in Kenya
With the Kafuris,
2023,
actually.
I saw the traders shutting out Kenya, and everyone was mentioning traders, FX everywhere.
Actually, there it happens a lot in Kenya. They go for drives, they go for things like that. You get my point?
I've seen it on TikTok.
Even in South Africa, they do that in their states. They go and have a drive out and shut down a whole. They shut down a whole how they call them. You know, they call them provinces in South Africa. Sorry, yeah. So in Uganda, we need to have such proactive events. If you want to market lifestyle, let's do it as a unit, And you should know that, of course, I won't market lifestyle, but when someone comes to me, I should give them the right source. You get my point?
Meaning, Emma, are you advocating for like...
We need unity. If you're influencers and mentors, you can have a group, you can have whatever you want, but the idea is to have unity among the influencers and the mentors.
These people, the problem, these people are thinking that they think they are having the same fan base and the same client base.
Which is the reality.
Like if I'm pushing Emma, like if I'm with Emma, if they see me on the podcast with Emma, my clients will go to Emma and Emma's clients will come to me. Those people are having that mindset. But for me, I actually think finance said to Mala.
Of course,
like you can be earning as I'm earning, as the other man on the camera is earning, like everyone.
100%, yeah.
You get.
But see what causes that is the idea that many people come into this space and become mentors just because of ego. They want to be seen, and there's the way the people have set standards for themselves in the industry, and they have made them public. You can't be. Actually, I was on a live, I think in 2023 or 2022, and somebody mentions you can't be a mentor if you don't have a bank account or a banker statement that shows $100,000. I think
I found the same guy in fake Jordans.
Exactly, you get my point.
I found the same guy in
such
fake
people
Jordans.
are not to try. There are no standards to the industry. You get my point.
Yeah.
You can be profitable, but you're trading $10 every month. By the end of the month, you've pushed it to like 40. You're way better than somebody who's blowing accounts. Then he gets a big win and makes noise. So there should be no standards. Trading is personal.
Yeah.
Your only competition is yourself, your ego.
Meaning, if someone is to set standards, set them on your own.
On your own.
Eh?
You feed yourself. You pay your bills. It's your own notion.
I think let me just go back to the mentorship and stuff, that space. At one point when I was new to the industry, there was a group of traders. They were actually working for some broker, and they were advocating so much for this thing. Like nobody is accepted to be called a mentor before making 5 years, 2 years. Yeah. What is your take on that?
So I think that timing for everyone is different.
Yeah, true.
Timing in the market. You can't set limits on someone that, you know what, to be a mentor to sell a service, you have to spend 5 years in the market. What if it does it in 1 year? You get my point?
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter anyway. But what happens is this,
Yes.
If you know yourself and you know that what I have, I can give it out to somebody the right way. I've tested it. I don't need to feed on it and things like that. What these producers, they isolate themselves that way. I think when we were starting up, it was almost impossible to meet a mentor.
Yeah.
It was almost impossible.
My friend.
You get my point? Now, with such standards, it does that as a marketing strategy that they can use to try and capitalize clients. But usually it's because those people are eating on sales. They want to maximize their sales.
Yeah.
So what do? Since you have the influence at the time, you create a narrative. You create a narrative that's going to scare people from doing what?
From coming into the
coming
space.
with the same table with you.
Yeah.
You get my point, to compete with you for clients. But if we do marketing the right way, there are 48 million Ugandans.
Yeah.
There are 48 million Ugandans. And people in trading are basically probably less than 20,000.
Yeah.
I don't even think we make 10,000. You get my point?
Okay.
So people should leave that whole ego thing and thinking of they're going to eat off that market. There's no timing in trading. So it's somebody's personal intuition, your personal narrative, your own books. You do your own bookkeeping in your house. You get my point?
Yeah.
It's saying get money. If I'm saying get money, you get my point. So at the end of the day, we just set standards. They should be off. Let people just harmonize and try to push the narrative the right way and grow the industry the right way. So
yeah, Emma, as we are coming into a conclusion, what could be the best advice you could give to a newbie and some pro trader or some intermediate trader out there still striving to make it? Like any advice, like any word you could tell them as you're coming to an end.
So ideally, just set realistic goals.
Yeah.
Because when you set realistic goals, they can't pressure on you. So I personally, I told myself that everybody who influenced me, the major people who influenced me to start trading, had spent a minimum of 5 years.
Yeah, true.
Be it DJ Coach, be it Refrain, be it Happy Forex. At the time, they had spent 5 years minimum to get what they were getting at that time, right?
Yeah, true.
So I gave myself a minimum of that same period of time. And it's just a minimum. That means it could have taken 10 years.
Yeah, true.
You get my point? But when I wake up and see the things I've achieved within this period of time, I can go for 6 months off the media, no phone calls, nothing. And I feed myself, pay my bills, do everything I need to do myself.
And
I paid my tuition.
Moving well.
I paid my tuition throughout university. You get my point?
Yeah.
Like, I'm proud of what I am. I have no business to pressure myself. So that's the whole idea. When you have realistic goals, everything becomes easy. You won't care who is flipping what, who's taking what clients. No. You will do things at your own terms. And that's the whole ideology. Set realistic goals, everything else will come into play and do what needs to be done.
All right.
There is no pressure.
That was Emma Trades for you and Forex.
Of advice. Papa chi.
But that is better they went yo. All right. Someone out there seeing us for the first time, and if you have been seeing us for a very long time, you know we have been trading, and at least we have managed to get something out of trading. What I'm advocating for you guys, it won't be different from Emma's advocation, but what I want you to do, guys, like, trading is 30% strategy and concepts and 70% psychology. You guys try and master your psychology very well, because that is the bit of it. Like, that is the real trading. That is when the real action comes in. You get? That is when it comes in. That is when the reality kicks in. When you are having $200 and you are fearing to lose them, that is when the reality has kicked in. Vako vile mwesudia ku media man. Wachitegera. Vako vile mwesudia ku media. Yeah. Psychology is trading. Meaning, look for any ways. Like, look for any way. Like, how can I even emphasize this? Like, no nyengeri yo na how to tame your psychology, how to become the best trader of you.
Be your best trader.
Be your best trader. Yeah, this has been us in our very first episode of the Trading Cafe. I have been with my co-host Emma Trades. I remain Forex and the Chartered Market Technician. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Emma, say goodbye. I
am Himothy Nze Ancestral Sniper, the CEO of Zao USD. Other than that, if you get to be there episode Dako, we have a lot of things cooking up for you guys. Peace and love.
We sign out.